All in the name of fertility-friendly lube sex.
I tell you what. Okay, and the funny thing is, then today, when I realized we were going to be talking about this, I was like, I saw you post the thing where you were like holding up the packet, and I was like, oh, I should have saved mine to demonstrate.
I haven't opened it yet.
You haven't even used it yet?
I have a 5-month-old and a really spirited 4-year-old, so
that's fair. That's fair.
We're gonna, as soon as we can like get a date night of some sort, I think we're gonna like test it out.
That's fair.
Not happened yet, but I did bring this to compare it to.
Okay, good. Well, then you're more I would say equipped than I am in the actual scientific comparison, whereas I can only offer subjective advice.
Well, so why do we need lube?
Okay,
so the medical like reasoning as to why we just can't make things work without it.
So, I mean, I think one thing that we have to talk about is, first of all, it is totally, you and I talked about this when we first received our samples. It is totally normal to need lube. Like, this is not a thing that you should be like ashamed of or feel like you're not doing something right. It is 1000% normal to need it, particularly around times of breastfeeding, any hormonal changes. So it's a huge factor is estrogen in those tissues in your actual vagina. So if your children are listening, we're sorry. We're going to talk about vagina and vaginal fluids. It's just, here we are. So it's totally normal to need lube, and or even if you don't feel like you need it, it's just, I mean, makes things easier and feel better, and why not use it? Yeah, I mean, why not?
So when Pete and I were trying, before we started fertility treatment, of course, this is like everyone's first line of defense. I don't know if you can see this. This is pre-seed.
Yeah, there you go.
And if anyone has had trouble conceiving, I'm sure that you've heard about this, read about this, et cetera, et cetera. And then it comes with these gross applicators. Do you see that?
Okay. We used that when we were trying, we didn't even have fertility issues. We just used it because that's really, you should use a sperm-friendly lubricant when you're trying to conceive. I was not aware of the applicators and that people were actually using them. Uh-huh. Wait, hold it up again. Hold it up again.
Well, and here's the thing. It hurts. Like, right. It's the ends are semi-sharp. Like, it's not comfortable at all. And you're supposed to fill up this thing and
why? What, this is what I don't understand.
I don't know. That's how they say to apply it.
Which, let's just also, you can apply the lube however your little heart desires. Let's just say that. You do not.
There's no scientific way to apply the lube.
No, not that I'm aware of. Now, I mean, if I am not an OBGYN by any stretch of the imagination, I am a nurse practitioner, and I'm just saying, in my medical opinion, no, like, put it on your hand or your partner's hand, or just spray it straight on.
Plastic sharp applicator up is like, it's not the way to get in the mood.
And why do you need so much? Like, you fill up the whole
thing. The whole thing. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And that I would think that would block the other materials that we actually need to get in the canal. But I don't know.
I don't know. They have all these nifty, there we go. All these nifty diagrams about how to use it on the box.
Oh my gosh. But again, no explanation for the sheer volume that you're putting in the application.
Right. So pre-seed, which I'm sure if you're watching this and you're interested in this, that you've tried it. It's clear. It's very liquidy. And it smells.
Just put a little,
it reminds me of some sort of like childhood craft material. I can't, like a
an
glue of some
solution?
sort.
Paste, like a Miss Lippy.
Something crafty. And it's very watery. It's not like super sticky.
You're gonna love that Natalist.
I have, yeah. So Claire has like actually taken this out and played with it. I have not.
Yes.
I was saving it for tonight for initial impressions. So
maybe tonight is the night, Lauren. I'm just saying.
Wonder if he's listening.
Pete,
maybe tonight's the night, dude.
Although Pete could not help us with our technology that we spent like an hour trying to. Just saying.
And that's like what he does for a living.
He's let me down.
He did tell us to sign up for the Zoom account. So like he did help with that, but I was unimpressed with his technical abilities tonight. Just saying. Okay, so let's try the Natalist. Okay,
I felt like
it is much more substantial.
Oh yeah.
It's not half as watery as the pre-seed.
And it's like very velvety feeling.
Ooh.
Right?
So this feels finer. If
Tish was gonna pick a fertility lubricant,
if she would pick the Natalist, the pre-seed is the Honda, and the Natalist is the Acura. That of feeling, at least. It's velvety is a good word. It's not watery, but it's not sticky. It's just it feels nice. Okay.
I concur, and I will say, having used both of them in a relational way. I'm sorry, did I just do that? That's not how they go, but whatever. Anyway, so the pre-seed, this is a little bit graphic. I felt like the pre-seed dried out really quickly, like in the time that you're using it, whereas the Natalist gave us a little longer.
So I haven't tried the Natalist yet, but I have used the pre-seed in the recent-ish past, and it dries out immediately.
Yeah, and it was worse after it dried out. Then you're like, oh, I just kind of wish I had never used that in the first place.
Yeah. So you're saying that the Natalist one does not do that?
It did not. I mean, not like. I don't think my mom will be able to figure out how to watch this, but
I'm blocking Tish from this.
If she somehow figures this out, I'm sorry. This is science.
This is science, and all women have these questions, and a lot have these issues. So
over close to 50%. When I was reading today, because I told Lauren, I was like, I will read up on the lube and the statistics and the data and the things, which I probably should have called an OBGYN to tell me. But what I was reading, it looks like basically half of women need a lubricant, which means probably more. That's just reported who actually reports that they need it. So I think what you're going to find with so the reason we're even talking about this lubricant in the first place is because it is a special formulation that is more friendly to the actual, or simulates the environment that is better for the sperm to actually travel. So that is a thing. If you're having any issues, or if you're trying to conceive, you really should be using, even if you're not having issues, and if you're trying to conceive, you should be using a sperm-friendly lubricant. Mm-hmm. There are ingredients in traditional lube that almost act as a spermicidal, not enough to count as a birth control type of situation, but enough that if you're having issues or are actively trying to get pregnant, then you shouldn't be using that.
Right.
So really anybody should be using that. So that's why we're talking about it in the first place. So Natalist made this product because clearly they felt like there was a market need, and we love the founder of the company is a good friend of both of ours, and just kind of how she came up with all this was going through this experience herself, and she was like, who wants to do this? You're trying to get pregnant, but you're also trying to have sex, and you're getting out this plastic thing and putting on this uncomfortable glue. Anyway, so she made these, or their company came up with these much more attractive, much more user friendly, if you will, just a better product. I mean, in my humble lubricant opinion. But back to what you're saying is about things drying out. I think that there's probably a lube hierarchy if I had to rank things for me.
Oh, I mean, definitely tonight, like not user wise, but texture and smell. I mean, there's a huge difference.
Yeah. There's a definitely a huge difference between that and the pre-seed. Yeah.
It's that pre-seed is crap.
Yeah.
There,
Totally.
Hallie, I think that this is gonna
Nailed it.
You
know what else I like about that? Okay, this is also maybe more information than people want to know, but so whenever we would like go anywhere or go out of town, I don't know. I mean, the lube is kind of like the bottle gets like just the stuff. It's kind of can spill, or if some gets out like in your makeup bag or your toiletry bag, and you're kind of like, ugh. I love the fact that it's in these individual packets. Like I'm obsessed with that. I think they're gonna come. I think it's gonna come. Now I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I think it's gonna come in like a 10-pack, like a bag.
Okay, I'm loving that. I'm loving
right? You can travel with it.
Well, not just that, just for sanitary purposes. Like,
right.
What were you doing before you took the bottle out and then you put the bottle back somewhere? Like, that's brilliant.
Or your 2-year-old finds it and is obsessed with it and then just starts pouring it all over your floor. And then you find your girls essentially having a replica of that scene in Old School when they're in the bub. Anyway, it's bad.
That would totally happen in this household.
Not good. It's not good. I'll just say that.
No, it's not good. But I love that they're going to come individually packaged. I think that's a huge selling point.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I mean, maybe they'll have, I can see both ways because I'm sure it is more, I don't know. There may be people that want a higher volume of the lube and they might want a bottle.
I don't know. Just from that one little, I don't know if.
You don't need a ton.
I don't think that I would need a ton. Like, there's a good amount in here. If you need more than that, you're doing more than.
Maybe you want a slip and slide situation. Who's to say? And we're not here to judge. That's not our call.
It's not our job. Right. However, you want to get it done. No judgment.
You do you.
You do you. I will say, just some initial impression, that the texture is completely different than the other leading personal fertility lubricant. So I'm thinking people are going to really love this, and I hope that she's going to put it in a bundle. When I'm sure she is, with like their ovulation sticks and their pregnancy tests, and like, so you've got everything you need for that month.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, sex when trying to have a baby is miserable. It is even more miserable if you have failed at it, meaning pregnancy is not resulted. So I love how she's bringing things that are and packaging them all together in kits. So I don't have to think about, okay, I've got to grab ovulation sticks from here. I've got to grab food from here. I've got to grab pregnancy tests from here. She just kind of puts it all together.
Here's your stuff, a brand that works.
Right.
All together. No, I love it.
I like that she has science behind it. She's got scientists on staff.
Right.
This is not just a hedge fund owned investor, whatnot. She's putting the science behind this, and that's what this is all about. So.
Yeah. And it's super personal too, I think, for many of the women that work in this company, which is just always gives you a different level of understanding. I mean, there are so many things that you just can never understand until you've been through it,
That's right. Well, I'm excited to use it, sort of, but I don't want kids that close to get. I mean, he's still a handful.
Use it and do some other stuff with it. I mean, don't I don't know.
That would require a date night and like us getting out of this house.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening anytime soon.
What are the compare the tastes? I want you to taste the.
All
These
right.
are the people need to know.
Okay.
I'm just happy that I don't have to do it.
You've already done it, just not on camera. You just haven't tried the. All right. All right. The pre-seed is chemically.
Okay.
It's like salty, sort of, and not. Anyway.
Natalist tastes like a milkshake. No.
I mean, but if it did,
If it did, we wouldn't be upset about it.
they should maybe look into that. Is all I'm saying. All right.
That's our next suggestion.
It doesn't
Also,
have as.
also tastes like chemicals.
No, it doesn't have as strong of a taste. Like the other one is like saltier and stronger. This is doesn't really taste like anything.
So really, in all aspects, from every sense, it looks better, it smells better, it feels better, and you would say it tastes better.
I would say that it tastes better. I don't know if I've ever tasted lube before, but whatever helps my fellow infertility tribe to find their best methods.
You're here for the people.
I'm here for the people. I'm not here for my mother right now.
No, I'm sorry, Tish. I don't know you, but I feel like she somehow will find this.
If my father is up there, he is just dying right now. Again, all over again.
No,
All over
I
again.
feel like precious years are protected from this. No.
Well, cheers to Hallie. Cheers to Natalist.
Cheers, guys.
Seeing more of their products.
We are happy to review anything you
Happy
like.
to review anything.
Tea on the sticks.
Clearly, nothing really embarrasses us.
No.
So, I mean, you picked two pretty fearless
Open books.
testers, right?
Open book.
Right.
All right.